Hi everyone, welcome. Hi Dawn, welcome. Nice to see you. How was your day? I'm just busy getting pencils out and I'm still carrying on with the Polychromos. I'm just thinking of all the different colors I see when I go to the seaside and which plants have what colors, just to balance this page out. Right, so I'm wanting to do an interesting combination here. I'm going to try Polychromos Cadmium Yellow Lemon and Earth Green. And just get my head into this, and maybe a hooker's green. So I'm going to come in with the Earth Green over here on these bits here, and I'm just going to lay my base layer, and from there I'll build it up. And I'm going to use Caput Mortum Violet for the tips here. And let's see what the cadmium yellow lemon does. Let me just lighten some of it up. So right now I'm just winging it. And then I'm going to use some dark indigo for my shadows. Then I'm going to go over that with the earth green. It's a bit of an unusual combination. But But I thought, you know, since it's the seaside, you don't always get that straightforward green. You often have that grey green or bluish tinges and purple tinges. So I was thinking along those lines. And then the Caput Mortum. And the Cadmium Yellow Lemon. A bit more of that dark indigo. So I hope that you have all had a good week, that you are well. Our week started off with quite a heat wave. We were getting up to about 38, 40 degrees in some parts of the UK. It's really, really hot. Very unusual weather. Okay, now I'm going to use May Green at the bottom here. I'm just going to put a light layer. Hi Val, how are you? It's good to have you with us. Big welcome. How was your week? And then I'm going to layer in some light phthalo green. So I've got a lot of green on this side of the page here. And what I'm trying to do is just vary the greens so that they're not lost into each other. I also don't want to spend a lot of time on them because they're on the back, in the background or the midground. So with a busy page like this, it's deciding what are your focal points and which bits you want in the background. So if you were to color everything the exact same depth, it's very easy for you to lose your focal points. So for me, I'd say the focal point, one of them would be the sun, but it would be the girl and where she's sitting on, possibly the boat. So I wouldn't do too much on her shoes, for example, or the mask, because although it's in the foreground, those aren't what I want to draw a viewer's eye to. I want to try and have it that it's cohesive, but you're pulled into certain places on the picture. So for me, I would say the grass and the flowers, they're not the most needing of attention, so I don't have to spend as much time building them up. All right, and then I'm going to come in with my Hooker's Green. If you don't like this section here, you could always just white it out or color over it and just make it part of the rock. it is a bit of a, I think it's trying to illustrate some grass, some sort of grass. So yeah, if you're not sure how you want to color it or what the point of it is, just blend it into your rock. Oh wow, you had a hot busy week, hey Val? Yeah, we had a hot week too. So I'm coming in with my earth green. And I'm just building up my light layer, or my highlighted. So I'm going to sort of turn this into a bit of grass. So I'm doing that slight flicking motion you would do for fur or for hair, and I'm just keeping it short strokes. I think I'm going to actually bring in a little bit of sepia. To darken some of the places. And then I'll go over it with the hooker's green. And then the light phthalo green. Well, I would like to do a color along in one of those books. I did have somebody comment saying they'd like a color along in the Fragile World by Kirby Rosanes. So that's an option. Yeah, I'm open to suggestions if any of you would like to see a color along in one of those books in my mini haul. I'm very happy to go ahead and do one. We could do one as a live. I'm coming in with cadmium yellow. So yeah, if you guys want, let me know. I'm hoping we can finish this page tonight. So I'm going to try and not faff too much. Then I'm bringing in cadmium orange. And then yeah, so let me know your suggestions, your thoughts. Light cadmium red. And then cadmium yellow. Alright, let's do the cadmium yellow on the legs. I have 2 pages in Fragile Worlds I'm quite keen on. The one is the axolotl page, and the other would be the one with the skull and the 2 bugs. I'm quite drawn to that one. So I was thinking if I do the skull kind of with creams, and so it would be a light bony skull with the bugs. I'd have to research what the bugs look like, and then a mixture of dead leaves and fresh leaves on the ground with a wooden log. So I thought it could be quite nice. Okay, so that's the legs. Right, so seagulls, they white and grey. So let's get some grey out. We'll bring in a bit of cream and ivory because the white areas of a seagull are not going to be white. Okay, so let's put down a base layer of ivory. You guys see all right? Okay, then we'll come in with cold grey 3. And I just want to lightly bring the grey in. The hatching turtle, I'll have a look at that one. I actually haven't colored a turtle, so that would definitely be stepping out of my comfort zone. So yes, I will add that to my to-do list with pleasure. I don't know why coloring turtles would feel a little bit intimidating. I think it's just that unknown, you know. We tend to avoid things we're not sure of or we don't know. It's a pleasure. I had a little bit of red on the feathers, so I just wanted to erase that. And then we're going to come under the wing here because the tucked in wing will give a bit of a shadow. Okay, then warm grey 5. We'll make our own, I'll make my own version of a seagull here. I find I sometimes have to remind myself that it is totally okay in colouring to make things your own. They don't always have to look like the real world around us. They can be imaginary or my own version. Oh, I love turtles too. When, I think it was February 2010, Sean took me to the Seychelles, and we were just having a swim. I think we were snorkeling in amongst the reef there, and it was my first time seeing turtles, and I was so mesmerized. I would have followed the turtle out to open sea, because it was just the most beautiful and captivating creature, and they were so peaceful, and just, I don't know, there was a soothingness that they, or soothness that they brought. I find it quite interesting how some cultures in the world would actually eat turtle meat. And when I hear about the reservation of turtles and all the attempts to protect the species, I'm always, relieved, because I think they are such magnificent creatures, and it would be a pity to have them go extinct. So hi, Colouring for Fun, nice to have you. I hope you had a good week. This is not Creative Heaven, this is Meine Reise durch Europa, or My Travel Through Europe by Rita Berman. And I'm glad you like the way the waves are. It's actually a fun page. Yeah, I wouldn't eat a turtle either. I haven't had turtles for pets. Are they easy to look after? What are they like? We've been to, the zoo, or some of these animal shelters, and we've seen terrapins being looked after. I have got a friend who has a tortoise. I think I have a friend who has a tortoise. I have this feeling that I know someone who has a tortoise for a pet, and they're quite sweet to watch. So I'm going back over this with the Ivory. Oh wow. So do you have to have a separate, I'm assuming a water turtle would need an aquarium or a tank of some sorts, and then the land turtle would have its own outdoor indoor holding place, or I don't want to say cage, because that's not the right word. Yeah. It fascinates me how old turtles and tortoises can get. I mean, we went to one of the not RSPCA places in our area, but similar, and they had rescued a tortoise, type of tortoise, and it was, I think, 150 years old. I was like, wow, imagine a creature outliving its entire family. It's just absolutely remarkable. But then I feel for them, because then their owners pass away, and then who looks after them? So I'm just using the warm grey 5, and I'm coming under the wings just to deepen the shadow and just define it a bit more. Oh wow, that's so cool. How long have you had your turtle or turtles? Oh no, Val. Oh, poor thing. Yeah, I hear you about the turtles being released. That must be really hard, and I would worry about releasing a pet turtle into the wild, you know, because would they still be able to find food and survive? You know, you hear those documentaries on TV, and a lot of them, you know, tell you domesticated animals can't go back into the wild because they don't know how to fend for themselves. They're quite dependent on humans. It's amazing. Yeah, it just boggles my brain just how humans affect the world around us. Wow, 28 years. That's amazing. Oh, Val, I want to send a crying face back to you, or one of those huggy emojis, because I really feel that. I don't know how to do it on my laptop though, because I have the phone is my camera, and I've got the laptop open with the chat so I can see what everyone is saying and participate. I'm going to bring in some cold grey 1 now. So I'm just trying to blend this out a little bit. Right, there we go. There's our, see, I was about to say there's our turtle. Oh my goodness. Coloring in a seagull, but my mind is on turtles. Okay, so I thought of doing the flippers possibly pink, and I'm just trying to work out how to tie in all the colors. But I'm going to do this umbrella, either this umbrella or this surfboard red. I think this surfboard we can do red here. Okay, so Val, my kids are, one is 11 and a half, the other one's just turned 10, and I have a soon-to-be 8-year-old. And my eldest enjoys drawing, and all 3 of them like to color with markers, and they're on and off with creativity. My 10-year-old has been coloring in a Pokemon color by number book. So this is Scarlet Red that I'm using. And he's been using the markers we bought. And then my 8-year-old fancies Minecraft. So he tends to color in his Minecraft book, or they'll ask for pictures from my book, and then I'll just copy them onto just normal cardstock for them, and then they'll use the markers and they'll color in. My elder's not so much. He tends to do more the drawing and coloring his own drawings. But every now and then he surprises us. So yeah. Coloring for fun. I don't have a tutorial on how to do this water per se, but I have been coloring this whole page on live stream. So if you go back to the, I think it was the second part, the first or the second part. Oh gosh, I can't remember now. But I did color this on the live stream, so you can see it there. I'm going to use middle cadmium red now. But I can also do a separate tutorial how to color water. Do you have any particular preference for type of water you want to color? Because it all depends on you know, the angle of the picture. So I did a page in Mythographic Paradise with fish in water, and that was kind of like looking down, so I had to color that water very different to these sort of waves. I haven't used twistables in ages. To be honest, I don't think I've used much crayon except the Neocolor 2s. Okay, cool. I'll have a look for a water page, and then I'll do a separate tutorial for you. Yeah, Val, there is a lot of creativity in the family, but then again, I'm trying to explain to the boys as they're growing up that creativity isn't restricted to arts. It's not restricted just to music and dance. It's you know, we can be creative with out of the box thinking, designing, you know, coding. So I'm trying to help them have a broader view of creativity. But my one grandfather, his career was creating posters and you know those products people would hang in music shops, so CDs and DVDs, wherever there was music. So he got paid commission to do the posters and the advertising side of it. So, and my grandmother, she went through a stage where she did jewelry and sewing, so embroidery, ribbon embroidery, cross stitch, normal embroidery, other type of embroidery. She does quilting. She did wedding dresses at one stage. She had a porcelain doll making, and she won a couple competitions with that. And my aunt was into sketching and drawing as well. So on my mom's side, there's actually a lot of that type of creativity. Yeah, I haven't tried quilting. Have you done much quilting, coloring for fun? I'm not a sewer, so I avoid the sewing machine when I have to. So I'm looking for a slightly lighter color here. So I'm thinking maybe a cream, just to have a bit of a highlight going on here. And then I'm going to go over it all again with Scarlet Red, and I'm just going to keep adding my layers. And then my middle cadmium red. I hear you. The last time I touched a sewing machine was with my mother-in-law, and she was teaching me how to make my own curtains, which was really simple and very efficient. And then that was it. And I did, in high school, I had to make myself a skirt and a blouse. So I made that and decided that sewing was not for me. It was just not my thing. And then at the moment, the only thing I do sewing wise is sewing on badges for the boys on their scouting uniforms. Right, so now I'm going to come and do these leaves here and these leaves up here. So I think I'm going to take the phthalo, light phthalo green. I'm going to bring you down, and using the light phthalo green, just do these leaves here. I'm just trying to do them a different color so they don't get too lost. Bring it back down. Thanks, Dawn. Appreciate it. I taught myself knitting, and then because my one grand, she tried to teach me knitting, and I just, when I was a kid, I made so many holes. I just dropped stitches like there was no tomorrow. Hooker's green. So it was before lockdown. I tried to teach myself knitting, decided that that was as boring as anything, and went on and taught myself a little bit of crochet, which was better than knitting, but again I got bored with it. And after that I found coloring again and decided, finally found a hobby. I could work with coloring. And I'm just going to go back over it with the light phthalo green just to blend out the tips. And I'm just going to leave this here because I don't feel I need to do too much. Why did I decide to start a YouTube channel? That is an excellent question. To be honest, I wanted to see if I could grow a YouTube channel to the point where my hobby could pay for itself. That's just one of the goals. I guess I was inspired by other people's coloring channels, and I thought, well, I could do it. I used to do blogging, and had some success with that, but because I blogged about more opinionated or belief sort of stuff, it felt like it was a bit more, it was slower to grow. And when COVID kicked in, I got even more wary because I just felt there was opinion-based stuff you couldn't trust. It was too open for people to really air their opinions against you, and yeah, I don't have the skin for that. I'm too soft in that way. So I thought, well, coloring is neutral, and why not give it a try? Let's just see. So I thought I'd just try and see what would happen and play around, and yeah, been really having fun with it. And then it's also presents itself with its own challenges, and I like overcoming challenges. So that's some of the reasons why I decided to start a YouTube channel. And I also figured that it was part of who I am. So I like sharing stuff with people, and I like taking people on a journey with me. And yeah, so it just felt natural. So yeah, that's some of the reasons why I started a YouTube channel. And we'll see where it goes. I have no idea where it's going to go. Alright, so now I'm going to do the flippers pink. And I think that's going to be part of the blanket or the towels. Looks like she's got two types of towels on the ground. So this is light purple pink. Oh, thanks, Val. I appreciate it. I'm glad you like my channel. It's really been a lot of learning, and I've enjoyed that. And I like actually meeting different people from all over the world and getting to know everyone. And I'm really enjoying these lives. And it's really, really cool. I'm thinking of doing a giveaway when I eventually get to 1,000 subscribers. So I've been thinking about that, and you know, what's the best way of doing that, and checking out what other channels have done before, just to get an idea. So I think that's going to be fun, something to look forward to. And I'm going to do her shoes pink. So she's just a girl who loves pink. And I'm going to have to put a bit of red somewhere else, because I don't think just two places is going to work. So I might need to make something else a bit red. Hi B, nice to have you. How are you? Oh, thanks, Val. I hope so too. It's a bit of a mission at the moment. In some ways it's rather silly, because I sit like watching the subscriber count up. So yeah, I can be a bit funny. So this is middle purple pink. So I'm trying to get that as the light comes from the sun, it's going to hit quite a bit over here on this top flipper. So her leg is going to cast a bit of a shadow over here. Did I wing it? Yes, I'm totally winging this page. Sometimes I start a page and I have a clear idea of a color palette, and other times I'll look at a page and I'll just draw a complete blank, and I just pick up pencils and start with, say, okay, I know how to do leaves green, so I'll just start with the green leaves, and then as I go it comes to me. But yeah, I do secretly just wing it. Oh, what areas of shading are you struggling with coloring for fun? Okay, I'm going to bring in some mauve, and this is going to be my shadow color. And then I'll go over it with a pink. Leaves and flowers. How big are the leaves and flowers you usually color in? Are they small, quite big? Let's see if I can help with that. Okay, medium to big. I'm using Pink Madder Lake now, and I'm just going to go over this. So I'm going to be having a couple of videos coming. I have already uploaded, I just haven't published it yet, a video in the flower year, and in that video I was coloring in a dog rose. So the first video is part 1, which I'll release soon, and in there it will show you how I layer and shade a biggish flower, and then the second part will be the leaves and the rest of the page, hopefully. And then I'm planning on doing a color along every month in Lila Dooley's flower year, so you can definitely keep an eye out for those, and it should help with the shading. Generally it's just layers, lots of layers, and even if you go one like that, that's one layer, and if you go over it again, that's a second layer, and the more you go over, you're just building up the layers. It also depends on the pencils you're using. Some pencils are harder to shade than others. So what's your favorite or your go-to pencils? I'm hoping to have July's flower in the flower year complete and up on the channel this weekend, all going well. Otherwise Val will be about a month behind, but I'm going to try to not have us a month behind. I'm going to try really hard to keep us on no, there are no color alongs in the flower year on the channel. But we're going to change that. We are going to change that, and we're going to make it that it will become a very regular and busy, a large list, shall we say, because that I worked out. If I do a picture a month, it will take about 5 years to finish that coloring book. So we're in it for the long haul. So I'm using middle purple pink, and I'm just going over these darker areas. And now I'm going to use the Ivory, and I'm just going to highlight up my light areas, so my highlights. And then I'll go over that with a light pink. I don't have a lot of experience with twistable crayons. I'm just trying to think if there's a way you could blend them. Have you tried with, I wonder if like Vaseline would work? Because I have heard, I haven't tried it, but I have heard some people have used Vaseline to help blend and create a smooth finish. Okay, I'm coming in with light magenta. Well, yes, I hope, well, unless life happens and something forces me to stop the channel, I'm going to be doing this for a while, because it's actually a lot of fun. The only thing I've done is I've just told the family that if they feel I'm spending too much time away from them, not that I am, they must just tell me, but that's just me being like really fussy and a mother hen. But yeah, I'm in the channel business for a long time, and I'm really excited to see things grow and the different type of pages we can do together, and just really tailoring the channel to what interests you all, and so that it really becomes a place where the content is relevant to the community. Because there's not, you know, it's about coloring what I enjoy, but also bringing in content that you lovely ladies enjoy coloring, or guys like to color. Thanks, Emily. I'm glad you like it. Okay, I'm going to come back to the shoes here, and I'm going to use the magenta and just deepen this up. And then I'm going to come in with the Pink Madder Lake. And I'll sparkle up those in a minute or two. So let's give her browny black soles. So walnut brown. And then I'm going to use Cold Grey 6. And I'm going to use a Cold Grey 2 for the lighter area on the edges of the sandals. So I use the brown to give it a bit of a warmer tinge to it than just a cold. And then on the top here, see, now I'm thinking, how do I do this? Okay, let's do. No, I don't want to do it grey. Okay, we'll do it like a beigey brown. Should we do beigey brown? Okay, wait. Cinnamon. Oh, you guys are so kind, thanks. I like Prismas a lot. I actually haven't decided if I like them more than Polys. It's really a tie between the two. I do find Prismas are in some ways a little bit more versatile. You can use them on a lot more sort of books than Polys, but then I've also been hearing that Polys are really a good option for the Amazon paper, so I'm still undecided. Prismas work really well in things like Creative Haven. They work on your oh, I've gone blank. Romantic Country. So Creative Haven, Romantic Country, Coloring Heaven. You can use almost any brand. I've used Castle Arts, I've used Prismas, and I've used Polys in Coloring Heaven magazine. Then Hannah Carlson, Maria Trollet. You can use Prismacolors and Polys. I was creating a list of them just recently, and that's where I started to see you could vary it a lot. I have lost my pencil. Ah, here it is. I did this shoe and then I realized I'd forgotten this one. So fragile wood. So Kirby Rosanna's books, you can use watercolor, Polys, Prismas. You're fine on any of those. So it tends to be more your cheaper quality of paper. I think Prismacolors then kind of works. but because you don't need to layer them, you can also use polys. So it's a bit of a thing. The famous squared broodfunnels. No, I don't. I have the round broodfunnels. To be honest, I don't really understand the difference between the squares or the rounds, because as far as I understand, they are the same company, and the round work really, yeah, they work okay. I haven't had an issue with them. What puts me off is they aren't numbered very well, and the colors, when you swatch them, don't match the colors of the pencil. And some of the pencils, it looks like they're all, you know, dark brown or dark grey when you look at the pencil, but then when you color with it, it's a dark purple or a dark blue or dark green, and you just can't tell the difference between the two of them. So and they're also quite a thin pencil, so maybe the broodfunner squares are a bit thicker and don't go down when you sharpen them as much. But they are quite affordable, and they are oil based, so that's also a good thing worth noticing. They are oil based. So I'm alternating between Caput Mortum and burnt sienna, and just trying to bring a bit of depth in here. And then I'm going into Coldgrave 1 just to blend this all out. And I'm doing little circle motions. Coloring with pencils isn't for everyone. Some people really enjoy markers. I think, you know, with pencils you have to really layer a lot, and they do require patience, and it also depends on the type of pencils you use. So, and then the paper. So if you use Amazon printed paper, for example, and you try use Castle Arts on that, they don't blend very well. And then you can use Prismacolors, but the Prismacolors, if you're not careful, you can lose all your highlights when you burnish. So it gets finicky and frustrating at times, and if that's not what you're interested in, or you don't feel like putting up with, because you don't have to put up with it, and why should you, then, you know, something like markers or gel pens would be more enjoyable and less fuss, and still create really exquisite pages. So it really does depend on I think preference and how much time you want to sit down with pencils and really put into your page. Right, so I'm going to do the octopus now, and I'm going to do him a reddish earthy color. So I don't have any of Camila Angelkova's books either. I have been watching people color in her books, and they seem to, especially the miniatures seem quite popular at the moment. Some very sweet designs. And I also have seen quite a few beautiful pictures in the Lulu Mayo books. But I don't have any of Lulu Mayo's books. So I'm using Venetian Red, and I'm putting down a light layer because I'm just testing the color. I'm trying to see if this is something that will work. I'm going to use a bit of Pompeian Red. And this is going to be for my mid-tone. I think this octopus reminds me of the octopus on Rita Berman's cover for the, was it the Water Under the Magnifying Glass, or I don't know how to pronounce her book. But I think there's an octopus in there, and I've seen it colored in, and it's got these sort of colors on it. It's really cute. And I'm going to use Caput Mortum Violet, and this will be for my shadows. And I'm going to use the cinnamon. Then I'm coming back in with the Pompeian Red. And I'm just building this all up again. And we can use maybe some gel pens just to give this octopus a bit of glam. And back in with some Caput Mortum violets. I'm just going to erase a bit on the eye. And I'm going to use my black pencil and just deepen his pupil. Okay, so now I'm going to come to the book and I'm just going to try to use some muted colors for the page because I don't want it to be too bright. It needs to look like it's in a book and not jumping out the book. So I'm using olive green yellowish. And I'm coming in with May green. And here I'm not going to do layers. I'm just literally putting in a dark color, a light color, and then I'm going to leave it. Here we're going to use earth green. And I'm going to use a cold grey, cold grey 5. Blend it out with earth green. Then for the water we need a bit of blue, so I'm going to use sky blue. Okay, now the water is here on this part of the page. Then we're going to use some Ultramarine. And a little bit of the Bluish Turquoise. And a bit more sky blue. Then I'm going to use some raw umber. And I'm going to try and create a bit of a page or book look to it. So she hasn't necessarily colored in the whole page. So we can pretend she's gone to the beach, she's taken her coloring stuff with her. This is her coloring book. And it's, yeah, you could probably do grey instead. Actually, let's do grey instead. I'm worried about everything blending into the sand. This is what happens when you don't have all your colors planned out. Okay, rewind. And sorry everyone. Warm grey 2. Followed by warm grey 5. And then a warm grey 1. And a warm grey 5. Just pressing a bit harder this time. and then come on with a warm grey too. Blend it out, and then I'll get out a white pencil and I'll just try smoothen this out a bit more. So if we have it that this is a colouring book that she's taken with and she's got her colouring pencils, we could probably get away with leaving some of the bits, some, you know, things maybe a bit uncoloured. So it's a work in progress. Oh, thank you, Emily. I appreciate that. It's not white. There's my white. Alright, here's the white. Just blend this out. Of course, you could decide which items you want to color in on this thing, or how you want to color it. You can definitely change it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a green pencil and a blue pencil. So maybe that one green, that one blue. And I might put a bit of gel pen here on these pearls, and then leave the rest of this page blank, so it looks like she's actually got a work in progress. So if I get out the sky blue, just clean up this pencil. So we're going to leave this bit brown. This will be colored. We can do, so we'll draw inspiration from Polychromos Pencils. We'll do these bands gold, and then the rest of the pencil we'll color in. So like this. Do this as a base color. Then we'll use Ultramarine. Then back to the sky blue. We'll use some bluish turquoise. Go over that with the ultramarine. So I'm just alternating between those three pencils and just trying to create a bit of depth here and there. And then we'll do the green pencils. So let's use a hooker's green and I'm not sure what other color to use. And let's add in a May green. And I'm going to use a cold grey 5 just to try and deepen the shadows. Go over that with the Hooker's green. Okay, now we'll get a gold gel pen. There we go. Now we need to do the brown bits of the pencil. So let's use a blister. So a light yellow ochre, and then the blister, and we can try a bit of burnt umber. It's a bit tricky because it's really tiny, so won't be able to do too much shading. A bit more yellow ochre. Okay, there we go. Well, I don't know. It's just the way I colour. I just don't colour fast, so it may be that we'll only finish it next week. Unless you would like me to finish it off camera and have it uploaded on before the end of the month. So I'm using another gel pen here. And I think I want a different color, so I'm just trying to find the right color. Let's do pink. And then I was going to give her a silver bracelet, so I can just use a gel pen for that. And I'll use a glitter gel pen for her sandals. Alright, then for the fish, I'm going to use similar colors to the octopus. I'm just going to turn the page upside down so I don't spread the gel pen. So I do it that way. And this is cinnamon. So he's going to have a bit of a cinnamon underbelly. Then I'm going to use the Venetian Red. And then I'm going to use red violet. Come back in with the cinnamon. And a bit of ivory. Venetian, oh sorry, this is red violet. And Pompeian Red. And some ivory on the tail. And red violet here. And Venetian here. Oh, sorry, not Venetian, Pompeian Red. Some cold grey 5. Okay, let's turn it around this way now. That's how it's looking. I'm going to come to the rest of the leaves and finish that up. So using light phthalo green, oh thanks Val. I like to do these color alongs so that they're relaxed. I mean, it's a hobby. It's supposed to be relaxing and therapeutic and all of that. So I kind of look at it that way. Hooker's green. I'm going back over with the light phthalo green. And then the cadmium yellow. Okay, this board I'm going to do blue with like a sun thing going on. So I'm going to use light cadmium yellow. Am I in the zone? Oh, I am so sorry. There you go. Is that a bit better? Sorry guys, I did get lost. Oh. And then Scarlet Red. And I'm going to go over it with the light cadmium yellow. So sky blue. And then cold grey 5. A bit of ultramarine. and a cold grey one. Back in with the sky blue. Right, now I'm going to use light Cobalt Turquoise. So as I'm doing a darker blue here, and I'm lightening it up this side because I want it to be a stronger blue at the bottom and a lighter blue towards this flower. We'll call it a, I don't know, maybe a sunflower or a fire flower or whatever you want to call it. And then I'm bringing in the bluish turquoise. And then a dark indigo. And then I'll go over that again with the light Cobalt Turquoise. And I'll use some ivory. Light cadmium yellow, and then I'm just going to alternate this a little bit. That was the Scarlet Red. Now I'm going over it with burnt carmine. And then back over with Scarlet Red. I'll use some terracotta here. And then an orange glaze over here. followed by the terracotta. And the burnt carmine. Then I'll just go over that with the dark chrome yellow. And that is the surfboards. You need a black pencil. Oh, thank you. All right, black here for the magnifying glass. Then a cold grey one. And then what you do is get a white uniball Signo pen or a white Sakura jelly roll. And you create these like lines on it, just to show that it's reflecting or it's picking up something. Then we need a light yellow ochre. Because the mask is on the ground, it will pick up some of that sand color. So we want to do that, and then we want to add a bit of bistre. Again, I'm not trying to focus on making this very in your face or too layered up, because it's got to be behind the mask part of, well, the glass part of the mask. A light yellow ochre. We probably have a bit of grey in there as well. So this is just a cold grey 5. And then again, I just blend it out with the yellow ochre. And then you would take your white Uniball Signo pen or Sakura jelly roll and create these. Just go over her lines for the mask with your white pen. And then it's going to have a like black nose. So I'm using black, and then I'll use cold grey 1. Something like that. Then I'll go to light purple pink. So now I'm trying to stick within my palette. I don't want to bring in purple because I haven't used purple anywhere else, and if I use purple then I have to find a few places to use it. So I want to keep myself to the pink and yellow and red with blue and green. So there's enough colors to really work with here. I mean, I could make it that it's blue or green instead, but I thought she's a pink girl and maybe she just likes pink. So middle purple pink. Oh, thanks. I'm glad you like the surfboard. The burnt carmine. Then I'm coming in with light magenta. Yeah, I've just, as I've looked at on Instagram, there are a lot of amazing colorists, and when I study their pictures, and you're talking about people who get hundreds of likes on their pictures, and I ask myself, what is it about their picture that works? And often it's limited color palette, and it's also their use of light and dark. And depending on the artist, some of them prefer to do realism art on their coloring pages, so that's something completely different. But the light and the dark, the limited color palette, that all, for me at least, has played a role in saying, okay, well, that's what is working for them, and that's what's making their picture stand out. So this is the light purple pink again. And then I'm going to use some white. All right, so there's her mask done. I hear you, Robin. Yeah, looking at the art supplies, especially if you have it all displayed, I can understand how that would be overwhelming. I feel like that sometimes with the few coloring books I have. I just got, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do now. And then I just close all the books and I walk out. Warm grey 6. Oh, that's a good idea, Robin. That's a really good idea. Pick one color and then go from there. I'll try that. Thanks for the tip. That's really cool. Warm grey 2. And then I'm going to blend it out with some ivory. And some cold grey 5. Suppose the chair would be a dark brown. Oh, diamond painting's fun. Although I still find colorings, it just grabs me more than diamond painting, but diamond painting is fun. So what did you do as a creative director? I'm curious. I'm not really sure what a creative director would do or what it would look like. So it sounds very interesting. All right, I'm going to use some burnt sienna. Some walnut brown. Oh, that sounds fascinating. It must have been quite a busy and in some ways demanding career to do advertising and marketing. It sounds really interesting. Yeah, Val, I can see how OCD would not work with diamond painting. Especially if you were to do the square diamond painting. A friend of mine, I got her onto diamond painting, and then she tried the square diamond painting, and it was really a challenge for her to get used to initially, because the square ones, you really had to line them up almost perfectly for it to work. But I think once she got the hang of it, it wasn't too bad. Let's use brown ochre. And then ivory. some dark sepia, just for right under here where the shadows would be the strongest. Alright, I think that's the chair. Well, the wooden parts of the chair. Do a bit of dark sepia here. And under here. Oh wow, that's quite a long day, 10 to 12 hours. So where do you get your diamond painting, Robin? Because I've checked eBay and you can get some nice ones on eBay, and I've looked a little bit on Etsy, just because then I can get my friend, when it, you know, Christmas or birthday, I can get her some diamond painting. And my middle boy, he also dips in and out of diamond painting. So I feel like I'm a bit limited in where I can get them. Alright, we're going to do this umbrella yellow. And then I think after I've done this bit, I will call it a night. Because it's probably going to take me another hour and a half to finish the rest. And I would love to finish it. Light cadmium yellow. Oh, okay, AliExpress. I'll have to Google them. I don't think we have an AliExpress in the UK, but maybe they do UK shipping, so I'll definitely go and have a look. Thank you. Hey Joan, you're welcome. Thanks for joining. Then I'm going to use a dark chrome yellow. So over here I'm going to use a terracotta. because it's inside the umbrella, so it will have a darker color than the top. And I'll use a Venetian Red. And then I'll go over that with the dark chrome yellow. Wow, Robin, that is a lot. What style of diamond painting do you enjoy? Next, I'm going to use the orange glaze. And then I'm going to go over this with the dark chrome yellow. Then the light cadmium yellow. I'm going to use a bit of burnt sienna just in the deeper shadows. Then just a bit more of the orange glaze, just to try and smoothen that out. The burnt sienna. The orange glaze. All right, and that is the umbrella. Thanks, Robin. It was lovely chatting with you. Hope you have the rest of a lovely weekend and look forward to chatting with you soon. Right, so this is where we are. This is what's left. And I think we'll finish it next week. Because it's already like 20 past 10, so I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Please have a think and let me know what you would like to color in, so that I can start planning colors and pulling out the page. So we'll definitely have this page finished next week, which should be before the end of July. And yeah, so thank you so much for joining me and for chatting with me. It's been really fun and very relaxing. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys next week in the live, and keep an eye out for that Layla Dooley color along videos. Until next time, take care.